Five.
Linton Spirits.
The only spirits that are fit to be splintered.
Yeah, hey, get
How
it
you doing,
here,
man?
get it hot.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
We're going into our first full year. You know what I mean?
I know. Coming
It's
up, right?
crazy.
What?
February 11th
13th?
we dropped. February
11th.
11th we dropped. And
Yes.
we've got we've got some fun stuff for February lined up, and
We got a lot.
got a
A
lot.
lot.
So, and we've got a fun thing happening. What's up, Roxy on Instagram? Everyone joining. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, how do I get the chat lined up? We got a fun thing we're doing today.
I'm going
too,
to get the
John.
chat lined up too. Yeah, tell me about that, Gary. What's popping off with that?
John, let me tell you about what's popping off. we're doing a John, let me tell you what's popping. John, you want to know what's popping? I'm gonna
Yeah, I
tell you
do. What's popping?
We are doing a podcast collab today.
Oh,
Realm of Darkness. So they got two people over there that are running that place, Ashley Marino and Nate Koger. These guys do it's a true crime / paranormal series, right? So Ashley, and I'm about to bring him in the room. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Ashley's a producer, writer, paranormal investigator, who works at the crossroads of true crime and the unexplained. She is the founder and writer of Realm of Darkness, the Dark Travel Chronicles, as host and producer. She of both of these things, she's got years of hands-on field experience into stories that are as emotionally grounded as they are unnerving. And her partner Nate, also founder and editor of Realm of Darkness and the Dark Travel Chronicles. I want to ask them the difference. I don't know if they had these two ideas and they combined them together. So one thing I want to know what's going on. He sort of has a more filmmaker's eye to things and an investigator and instincts. And he's a Western New York native. And he spent over 2 decades researching and investigating paranormal across the country. So, they brought two great tastes together here to make this podcast. So I'm excited to have them on. They're about to join us in just a second.
cool.
And, well, Roxy, thanks for stopping by. Sorry you got to go. You're going to miss it. But they are going to come on here, guys. And then we are going to go over there.
Yes.
The interviewers become the interviewees.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fun. It's going to be really fun. And they are at Realm of Darkness on YouTube. You can check them out. We'll put that link up there in a sec before we split. Just a little show business for Splintered Spirits business while we're at it. We had the Lauren Alex Hellickson episode drop this week. I hope you guys checked it out. That was a super fun one. Coming up next is Monique Too Soon, the drag queen ghost hunter, which is unbelievably fun.
Yes, it's so awesome.
She was so awesome. Then we've got February comes. We've got Chip Coffee. We've got our group Estes experiment. And I think what else? We got one. There might be one more in February that I'm totally blanking. But because it's February, I intend to put all of these episodes up early. And if you're a subscriber on YouTube, you can watch them before anybody else. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in Ashley and Nate. John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. I hear you're ready.
I was born ready.
He was born ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me let everybody in.
At least I think I was.
We got Nate. What's up, Nate?
Going on, Nate?
Ashley, she's here.
Hello, Ashley.
Going.
Can we hear her? Yeah, we see her.
There we go.
There we go. What's up?
Oh, nothing. How are you guys? Just trying to stay warm in this god-awful weather.
Where are you? Where are you guys located?
I'm Northeast Ohio.
Northeast
I am
Ohio. Where are you,
wonderful
Nate?
Western New York.
Western New York.
Western New York.
Where give me a terrible city in Western New York.
I am 45 minutes north of Buffalo, so I'm in Millport area.
I didn't know there was such a thing as north of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I went to school in Syracuse, so I'm somewhat familiar with upstate New York, and I hated it. I mean, I love the school, I love my experience there, but the weather was just. I remember it snowed at my graduation in May. And it's this is not right. Every parent here should be.
Often ask myself.
Yeah.
Every parent here, they need to call CPS. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw snow in May.
My birthday's in May.
Oh.
Well, my birthday's in May, and it has snowed on my birthday before. It's terrible.
It's terrible. That's not right. It's not supposed to be that way, guys.
No.
Climate change is real.
No,
except for upstate New York, where it's just always miserable.
it's always miserable here. I just today, I'm like, we've probably got a foot of snow outside already, and now they're calling for another foot to 2 feet of snow come this weekend. And I'm like, why am I still here?
Yeah.
Why do I?
Yeah,
Well,
still
man,
that
it's
live
like-
here?
storm is huge. That storm is huge because we're getting that here. They're
Yeah.
calling for 2 feet here, close to New York City. That storm's massive.
Guys, when
Yeah,
you're
they're
getting,
telling us
when you're
we're
getting
supposed to get-
snow in feet, it's time to think about all your life choices. Question it.
Well, I think right now they're telling us, at least in my area, I'm more like toward Cleveland, and they're saying we can get anywhere between like 6 to 18 inches. We're like, well, that's a big gap. So,
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Wow.
Listen, on that pleasant, fun note of your weather, now you're trapped indoors. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad we're doing this. I've never done something like this before. John and I are always talking about, we want to build community here. And I think it's really interesting to find like-minded individuals and sort of have some fun with it and see, do some crossover stuff and dive in. So let me dive in here first for both of you. And it's a question for both of you is, what was the specific moment in each of your paranormal sort of adventures where you were like, okay, now I have to take this seriously and I'm going to make this a thing for myself? Ashley,
Nate, do you want to go
Ladies
first?
Ashley,
Me?
ladies
Okay.
first. Yep.
So, when the whole thing that started my paranormal journey was my mom had passed away when I was 7. And the night she passed away, we had gone home. It was just my dad, my brother, and I. And I had gone out in the middle of the night and I saw her standing in my living room. And she just kind of started talking and she's like, listen, baby, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. You guys are going to be fine. And the way that she looked, because she passed away of cancer, she looked perfectly healthy, normal, kind of like she did before she had gotten sick. And then she just disappeared. And that was kind of my moment. Even being little, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real, and this could help people. This could be almost like a closure when they lose somebody. So it was kind of then where I started kind of getting into it and dabbling in different things. And then of course, you're so young, you don't really know what you're doing, and you kind of believe all things are real. So I would say it was probably when I got a little bit older, I went to my first location, and that's when I'm like, okay, you need to start kind of deciding what's fantasy, what's movie, and then what's reality.
Gotcha.
My story is
and
not,
that
you know-
realization happened at 7, so that's a
Yeah.
very early start. Was it that early for you? Are you gonna one up her here, Nate, and go, well, for me it was 6.
No, absolutely not.
For me,
No,
I was
her-
in the womb,
Yeah. I came out knowing.
Yeah.
I came out as a ghost.
I vaguely, yeah, right. I vaguely remember like being little and seeing things at my house, and my uncle had passed away after I was born, not too far. I was probably like not even a year old, but I could tell you where like he passed away in a car accident, and my mom always tells me this story where we're driving, and I told her, hey, this is where Uncle Danny got his boo-boo, and I'm like, how would I know something like that? And like just thinking about things like that, the house he grew up in, my grandparents' house, my parents got divorced when I was probably 8, 9, and I'd go there every other weekend. And one weekend, I remember waking up on a Saturday, everybody else was gone, and they left me home because I'm old enough, kind of. I'm trustworthy, I guess.
Sure.
But I'm sitting at the computer, searching stuff, doing whatever kids do, and upstairs I hear walking, and it was like cowboy boots, like the dun 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 dun.
Sure.
I go up there, I'm like, oh, somebody is here. I run up the stairs, I get up there, nobody's up there. It's cold, and this is like the middle of the summer. Cold as could be, no air conditioning on in the house. I got my stuff, went outside. It's like, no, I don't know what this is. It scared me. But then, you start seeing come, early 2000s, like Ghost Hunters and those kind of shows pop up, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is a real thing. Like, people actually, like, look into this thing. So that's kind of like where I started. I'm like, you know what? I kind of am curious what actually happened to me, and I want to find out a little bit more. So you start doing stuff and meeting people and trying to find answers for what was going on.
And trying to figure out, is it your brain or is it
Yeah.
real? Because I know
Yeah.
that was my biggest thing, is trying to figure out, was it a coping mechanism or was it more of an actual paranormal experience?
Well, those are both. I mean, look, those are both your kids. For both of you, that seems like one of your first memorable experiences. So when you're more of an adult, did it hit you again later as an adult, or were you like, I went through a Stephen King phase in high school. I was reading him all the time, and I'd gotten into horror and shit like that. But it's, to really say to yourself, I am going to make paranormal my day job, or my true passion. What was something you went on, or an adventure you went on more as an adult and said that?
So, one of the first locations I ever went to, being in Ohio, was Ohio State Reformatory. I am a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of Shawshank Redemption, so I couldn't wait to get there. And when you're doing the initial tour, they're laying it on you. They're telling you all the horror stories, all the ghost stories, all the activity. And they had told me a specific story about a ghost who was an inmate, and they called him Mr. Salt. And he would stick around in the toilet room. And they called him Mr. Salt because he would poison people with Epsom salt so that they would die. And he hated women, was the claim. So, of course, being the only female on the team, I'm like, I have to go down there. I have to see what this is about. And I go down there, and I'm asking the typical questions, is anybody there? Can you say hi? And with my ears, I audibly heard, hi, like real lightly. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. And I made the comment of, all right, you're not as much of a dick as everyone says you are. Because he was apparently this horrible person. And within seconds, now this was dead winter. Ohio State does not have windows. They don't have heat. So I had on a tank top, a t-shirt, a hoodie, an Eskimo jacket, gloves, scarves, the whole 9 yards. And within seconds of saying you're not that much of a dick, I felt burning going all the way down my back. And I had someone lift my coat up, and I had a scratch from you guys won't know, but where your bra hits, all the way down to where the top of my pants hit. And
We've seen bras.
I mean, I'm just saying.
We know where they go.
We know how to take them off with one hand, all right?
Okay, well,
We're not a bunch
right
of
where it hits
incels.
in that bag. You're going to close your eyes and be like, okay, I know what she's talking about. But yeah, it was from right where that hits all the way down to the top of my pants. And it was a full hand scratch. And I was excited.
And actually, that's what kept you in the game. That didn't get you out of the game.
No,
That's
well,
what
that
matters.
was for me. That was the moment where I'm like, oh my God, this could truly be real. Because, with my mom, it was more of, okay, is this, trauma? Is this, different things, coping? But this, having it happen in a natural, no feelings attached environment, it was so cool. And I remember I was excited, and I ran out, and I turned around and showed everybody. And I think that was my moment where I was drawn in, and I was like, I need her.
Amazing.
Beat that, Nate. No.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah.
What about you, Nate?
obviously
For
mine's
real, what
not
was the?
as
It's like, well, I was wearing my bra, and
I took my bra off and
be comfortable.
so obviously he told you the stuff with the kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So come senior year in high school, they brought us this thing for senior year. They want you to do this senior project in school, and they pick a topic, whatever you want to do, and you got to do a presentation, you got to do a physical aspect to it, and all this stuff. So this was right after the show Ghost Hunters came out. So I'm like, you know what? I want to try that. So I do some research. I find a group in Rochester, New York, about an hour away.
Sure.
They come, they drive up, and around here in Western New York, we have so many haunted locations that one was associated with somebody that was associated with my school I went to in Margin Manor. It's in Somerset. It's been on a few of the shows and whatnot. So we hook up. They come. We investigate the place, and that first little bit, 20 years ago. I'm like, all right. The one that really hooked me was, actually getting to do it, one, but like getting that first EVP. And I remember we were up in the very like high part of the house, and why, the typical question, why are you up here? And like listening back for the first time and actually getting that first EVP of something you have no idea where it came from.
Sure.
That's what really like dragged me in. And then from there you start going to other places and doing different things, and it just keeps building and building. So
Now, both of you guys you're both paranormal investigators, right? Do you consider yourself psychic mediums or intuitives of any kind?
That's kind of a tricky question. So we don't technically claim it, because when you do, everybody wants a reading. But we definitely consider ourselves more open, and we try to tap into that side. We've definitely
Oh, she'll come back.
yeah, she'll come back.
Back.
like a couple people. I don't like to take that. Oh, is I cut out?
You were cut out for a little bit. It's
Little bit.
okay. When I redrop this tomorrow,
but,
that's fine. I hear what you're
But
saying.
yeah,
Listen, I accuse John of being a witch all the time, and he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not magic in any way." But I believe he is. I believe he is more intuitive and is more connected. For sure.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
what
the
about
devil
you,
dogs.
Yeah.
So it's funny because
Well,
I
Sorry.
don't think I personally am.
Okay.
But it's weird because when I'm around certain people like Ashley, for some reason I'm like picking up on stuff that I shouldn't. And I don't like when I'm by myself, nothing. But like when I'm around like certain people that are gifted, like it brings it out of you for whatever reason. I don't know. I can't explain it, but
See, that's an interesting
I did a
point.
walkthrough of my own the one day. We went to this one location.
Yeah.
She had been there and knew everything about it. I had not. So she told me, go walk around and see what you pick up on. I'm like telling her things that actually made sense. And I'm like, I really have no idea how I could do that. But it's just when you're around certain people, they're like a beacon and they give you that little bit of extra, it feels like.
I like
well, and
that.
it's people
There's
you
some-
feel safe with.
Yeah, there's something to that. I think there might be something to that. That is an interesting angle, right? Because I always say I never get anything on, and it's true. I never get anything on these devices unless nothing really comes through unless I'm with John when we're together. And it's sort of one of those things. I've played around with certain things. I've gotten some stuff sometimes, but not on the level that John gets it when he goes out. Which is that's an interesting an interesting angle, like proximity to, or calling them a beacon. I like that word. I'm gonna steal it. 100%.
I do
Yeah,
feel
and
like
do you guys ever notice it's kind of like the connection you have, because I've been on investigations with a lot of people and it doesn't happen, but when I'm with Nate and our other team member, there's times that we walk into places that we can read it like a book, but then I go with somebody else and I'm like, oh my god, I'm broken, I can't read anything. So I think it's that connection and that sense of like safety you have with them.
Well, John, you could speak to that a little bit because you hate going really with other people when you always say it ruins it, right? I mean,
It doesn't ruin it. What it does is it changes the atmosphere. I mean, let's be real. How many times have you been with a group of people and all of a sudden one person walks in and the entire atmosphere of where you're at changes? That person doesn't even have to say anything. It can just change. It doesn't matter where you're at, in a house, in a bar, anywhere. It just changes. So it's more of an atmospheric thing. But I have heard so many people say, hey, when I'm with this person, all this activity happens. Or if I'm with this person, I almost feel like I'm getting downloads or more sensitive to the area. Maybe a part of it has to do with being comfortable and being, in a safe place and trusting the people you're with. Or, the location just isn't as vibrant at the moment. It's so many factors and variables go into it. But there is something there. There definitely is.
Well, and I think too, it has a lot to do with intention. If you're in with the right group of people with the right intent and the respect, I think it opens doors versus going in and, screaming, do this now, like they're circus monkeys.
Intent is everything.
yeah.
Intent is everything.
I keep that's another theme that certainly keeps coming up is intent. So, guys, how do you describe Realm of Darkness for those that might be watching or that are going to be listening and that don't know it? How did it all come together, and what's the, how would you best describe it to someone who's never heard of it?
Yeah, so Realm of Darkness is a podcast, and what it is it's a true crime paranormal podcast. And we kind of created it that way because when you go into these locations, a lot of it starts with crime. There's like the Idaho murders, or there was a tragic murder or a tragic death of some sort. So a lot of these locations and a lot of the hauntings do come from something more crime related. So we had the idea of throwing it together and covering both aspects of it. There's some people that are more driven by true crime and more driven by paranormal, but why not combine them when in reality they kind of go hand in hand?
And that's your filter, right? Is that how you would rule out a location to talk about? Because it's like, oh, we heard there's ghosts there, but it's just some old school, nobody was killed, or is it just, like we have to have a crime?
No.
No,
we're open to anything. So
Got it.
we like to cater to both. So we have locations that have no part of crime because we also think sometimes, a location can be haunted due to the land. I'm not one that thinks that it has to be haunted because somebody died there, but it could be the land that's there. It could be somebody, a spirit that's a passerby, or it could be somebody did something they shouldn't have been doing in the location, which depending on who you ask and what religion you're from, that could be a crime. So
how do you balance what you tell more of? Did you just figure out like what, do you ever, how do you weight it? True crime versus paranormal? Does it just depend on the story?
So it just depends on the story because, a lot of times we'll see, like last week we did the Diddy case and P. Diddy and all that stuff because it's back in the news with the Netflix documentary and stuff like that. So like sometimes we'll talk and be like, hey, this is in the news, it's relevant, let's talk about it. Or, we've got somebody that comes to us and wants to talk about a book or, location owners. We talk to pretty much anybody. Sometimes we're just like, hey, let's, find a case and let's go over that because, it's interesting to us. We find some random things just come up to, and we have a group chat. I'll send her this case and be like, hey, this one seems kind of interesting. I haven't really heard about that. Let's, do some research and talk about it on the podcast. So it all depends on like, circumstances and stuff like that, what comes around and what comes to us.
How do you guys...
we've even had...
Oh, go ahead.
We've even had, we've had police officers on, we've had anonymous detectives on, so that we could get a kind of behind the scenes of like a missing persons case. And, missing people, it's thousands and hundreds of thousands. And people always say, well, the cop didn't do what they were supposed to do. So we try to get a perspective and we try to show people both sides of that as well. So I would say our range is pretty much anything that Nate and I find interesting.
Yeah.
We bring it on and we talk about it.
That's perfect. And how do you describe each other's roles in this partnership? How do you break it down?
So I would say Nate is probably more of the graphics, the production.
The technical
He's
guy.
more the technical scientific guy, and I am more of the dreamer and the wish list of, hey, can we make this happen, or can we do this, or hey, let's do that. And Nate sometimes has to reel me in. So
Is it hard, Nate, to reel her in?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's just easier sometimes to let her go and do what she wants to do.
Right.
And I just go with whatever she says half the time. It's just easier.
No, that makes sense. I mean, look, you have to. I think the only way things last is if you have those kind of lines. You know what I mean? It's otherwise you just get frustrated. You have to understand what what everyone's lane is, and accept that lane, and then just try to make the best of it, right? And then obviously there's always audibles that you're gonna call to get things done, but for the most part,
well, it works well with us. We're both pretty easygoing, so either one of us can bring ideas to the table or be like, what, I'm going to handle this week. And we're like, okay. So I think not to toot his horn or whatever, but I think we have a pretty good dynamic between the two of us.
sure. Who's more likely to push into a risky or intense situation, and as opposed?
Ashley.
Oh, that's all Ashley. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I could see it, John. I could see it like a situation where it's like they're at a bar and Ashley's the one who like starts yelling at someone, and Nate's sitting there. It's like I'm the one who has to get is the one who's going to get into the fight here.
Yep.
Please stop yelling at the bartender.
Yep.
It's like I'm the one he's going to punch. Please stop it.
No,
I-
Ashley would be doing the
I'm-
punching too.
Yeah.
That would all be Ashley too.
But you know what, though,
then,
Nate?
so then we have
I'm-
different definitions of easygoing then.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But you know what? I'm going to rat Nate out because he is an instigator. If I message him or we're together and I'm like, oh, I'm a little irritated, he's like, oh, why? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to say something? So he pushes it. And then he always tells me, I love if you get petty, just get petty. And I'm like, Nate?
Wow.
Nice sprinkles a
he's
little
my
chaos
instigator.
into the mix. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh my God, it's great. What investigations have you guys done or research have you done that has changed you the most? Either just in your craft or spiritually or psychologically. Like for example, I just watched Adolescence and holy shit, I haven't fully recovered from it. It's so fantastic and it's just it takes a lot. So is there what has been for you guys because your pod is definitely you do deep dives into these stories and everything else. So what discoveries have you made in some of those stories that you're like, wow, this is outrageous?
Ooh, Nate, you can go first on this one.
I mean, as far as like maybe going out and investigating places,
Anything
I
that's
know-
moved you, like
Yeah.
this is
we probably about a year ago, we were in Indiana at a place called the Monroe House, and that place was one of the wildest places I've ever been to. I remember we were filming because we do some filming and stuff too. Like there's on our YouTube channel, we have Realm of Darkness: The Dark Travel Chronicles, and like we'll go and film places and put it together, edit, and it's part of what I do because I'm the technical guy. But we were filming for a different network at the time, and that's kind of how Ashley and I had met. And we go, and I remember this place was just a bonkers place. If anybody's ever heard of the Monroe House, just there's like, we saw each other, like that we weren't actually there. Yeah.
Wait,
I remember one time,
what?
like,
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You saw each other, but you weren't there. Like,
so,
So we saw mimics
mimics
of each
yeah.
other. While
That's the type of
yeah,
term.
so
I don't know. What
we
that
had
is.
seen one of our teammates in the first floor when she was actually outside.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I don't know.
So
what that
hold
is.
on. Before, when you say you saw her, is it just you saw her, or did you interact with her?
Both. So it was weird. So it was her. We'll say the real her had on like a white shirt and black shorts.
Okay.
But the mimic her had on a black shirt and white shorts, which is
Oh, so
where
yeah, that
we
was a mimic.
realized
Oh,
it.
okay. Oh, that was my thing.
So
You
we
guys-
knew
you
it
guys
wasn't
are all
her.
Like, you guys are all like super casual, like, oh yeah, of course it's a mimic. Like,
Yeah,
what
mimics.
is a-
See, they're
what
mimics
is
are
a-
nuts. Well, that's a clear tell sign that that's a mimic.
What is a mimic? Is this a ghost?
Yeah.
Is this some sort of a ghost? What is a mimic? I think a mimic, and it was a movie with Mira Sorvino, and they were
All
giant
right,
bugs.
so hold on. Here's the thing. A little disclaimer. A mimic is definitely different for everybody. It's either two things. It's either an entity that's pretending to be somebody, or it's a certain type of interdimensional entity that's all it does. And the problem is that when you see these things and you interact with these things, you just don't know what you're dealing with. You just don't know what you're dealing with. Because it could be a spirit mimicking, and then, oh yeah, it's a mimic, or it's a mimic. And if it's a mimic and that's all that thing does, they're extremely dangerous.
You just said the same word, mimic, three
Yes.
times, like as if it was three different things.
Because it can be. Because it can be. Well, two different things.
Uh-huh.
Well, if it's a mimic, it's this. But if it's a mimic, it's that. Like, how am I supposed to
It's
fucking know what a
this.
mimic is?
Because we don't know what to call these things. That's so it's, the mimic is
Well,
the
you're
action in
crazy.
which it's doing.
And the
Look into
crazy
it.
thing is,
Yeah, go ahead.
more than one of our teammates saw this mimic throughout the night. So it wasn't one time, it wasn't just one individual. And then it was also mimicking voices too.
Yep.
which was insane.
What's the lore
Wow.
behind it? Is it like some Native American lore? Like, what's the history of a mimic in terms of that?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. It just it's
I
something
mean,
that people
yeah,
have seen.
yeah.
All right.
And the other reason why I asked, and she said the color difference is, if she saw her teammate and they were identical, everything was identical, the way she was acting was perfect, there was no discrepancies. That could also be an interdimensional issue, which I've experienced here at the Breck Estate, where you walk in a room and you're no longer in that dimension that you think you're in, and we've caught in that on film. So that's why I had to ask, like, what does she look like? Was she normal? Was she herself? And yeah, no, when you said that the clothes were switched, that's a telltale sign you're dealing with something that almost got it down, but didn't,
Well, that sounds like a definite answer to my question, which is yeah, that would pretty much move you to like that's a weird.
Just the whole place was weird. Yeah, I remember like on our way out, we were packing up to go, and I just happened to look into the doorway, and I see a little kid standing there with pajamas, and nobody else saw it. And I'm like, well, I can tell you what I just saw. It's a little boy there, and I'll remember the day. Ashley does a lot of the evidence review on the static cameras and stuff. The one static camera that was in the kitchen down the hallway kept catching a little boy's voice all night, and I'm like, there it is. I saw that, but that's like validation for me that, maybe I wasn't crazy. What I saw should be caught on the camera. And that was probably one of the greatest days of my life because I'm like, hey, I'm not crazy. Like I saw that, but now we caught it here too. So
Wow, man. So look, we ask all of our guests this because that's really the whole tapestry we're putting together here on this podcast, and it's simply this: it's what do you each think spirits are? What do you think you're seeing? Not a mimic, and don't answer with mimic.
Ooh.
But what do you think spirits are? What is it? Is it a state of consciousness? Is it a soul? Where do you guys land on this? Nate, you go first.
Ashley.
So
Or
I,
Ashley.
for
I just
me,
threw it. No one was
Ooh, okay,
speaking, so
go.
I threw it out.
Okay.
No.
I think that's part of why I do this is because I don't have an answer. I don't know. I've had this conversation with Ashley. I'm not like a super religious person, but do I believe that there's something bigger than we are? Absolutely, because I've seen things to know that there's something going on.
Well, nobody knows what it is, Nate. I mean, but what do you think
Exactly.
it is? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think you're taught? What do you think you're spotting? What do you think you're hearing? What do you think made those footsteps?
It's I do think partly it's your being, your soul, leaving your body and like just hanging out. As I do think spirits can come and go. The souls of these people could come and go because I've seen like recently like family members who have passed, doing certain things to, kind of show you they're around. Like just things that you can't explain other than things that you associate with them, like different smells or different things you see randomly, signs and stuff like that. So I do think it's partly the soul, but I don't know what would keep people around as far as like, being here after.
Right.
That's part of what I'm doing a lot of this.
Do you
to figure
that
out.
that begs the question? Do you believe there is another place, like a heaven, or are you in that camp? Because you just said what keeps them around. Where do you think they're gonna go?
Yeah, I guess. I'm like I said, I'm not religious, so I'm not sure between like a heaven and a hell and stuff like that yet. But like the more I've had conversations with Ashley about this a lot lately. Like we've been to places and she'll do like she'll call on the angels and stuff like that. So I'm starting to lean more towards that being more of a possibility. Just being around Ashley and like some of the stuff and like the feelings you get after she does some of that stuff, like I feel safer, and it's hard to describe, but like I do think I'm leaning more towards that being a possibility. But I
Okay.
still like part of the research and stuff and trying to figure that out, I guess, is where I'm at.
What about you, Ashley? So what you sounds like there's angels. Or you believe you're in a religious angle for this?
So I am, but I'm not. So I was born and raised Catholic, but I like to say that I am my own type of religion now. It still kind of follows Catholicism, but for spirits or for ghosts, I kind of think it depends on the person and depends on the place. I think a majority of it is kind of energy. And I think that our energy can be imprinted on land. So it depends on if you have an intelligent or if you have more of a residual haunting. And I think that certain events can imprint on land. I do think that most of the spirits, like I said, are energy or some type of consciousness. I don't necessarily believe in heaven and hell. I think it is a different level of vibration. I think that when you pass away, if you die on, I don't want to say on a happier note, but if it's a natural cause or you're more of a positive person, you're on a higher vibration, which kind of puts you on a higher plane. I think if you're a terrible person and you're a murderer or a pedophile, you're going to be on a lower vibration. And that is kind of the difference of heaven and hell. And then there's kind of that middle. But when I say I think it depends on the person, I also think that sometimes the brain is a powerful tool and it's a very, very powerful thing. And I think sometimes...
You said the brain?
The brain, yes.
Okay.
So I think the brain is a very powerful, magnificent thing. And I think sometimes when you go into a location, some of these entities that people catch could also just be manifestations or them projecting energy. So it's kind of a really hard subject for me because I'm like, I do believe that it's energy, but I do believe that people are possible of kind of manifesting their own hauntings at the same time. And it might not necessarily be true haunting. It might be that person somehow projecting it.
Okay. I mean, look, I met a few people where the brain is not that much of a big of a weapon. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Those people, they...
I don't think they're leaving much of an imprint on anything. Yeah. Or the only thing that they might actually be the ones where you hear banging of pipes. It's because they're just banging their head against the wall because that's really all they can do.
Yeah.
That's the only sort of thing they can leave behind. What responsibility do you guys feel you have when you tell some of these stories? You know, in regards to like the victims, the families, the spirits. You know, how do you approach it from that angle for yourselves?
So I think for us, we always try to approach it in a respectful manner. Not to sound morbid, but I try to look at a case, especially if it's a murder or something kind of more tragic. I try to picture it as if it was a family member. You know, I'm not going to go in and say, oh, they deserved it. They were this, they were that. I think we try to give facts, but then we also give a lot of our opinion on the case. One of the biggest cases that we covered and probably one of our favorites is Ellen Greenberg. And she was a young female who she was in her apartment, locked in her apartment, and she was stabbed like 23 times to the back of the head, the neck, severed her spinal cord, and they ruled it a suicide. So I feel like these people, they need a voice. I know, right? That was I'm like, how, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but how is that? Yeah, she had the cut was bad, it severed her neck, and they said it was a suicide.
I'll tell you how
It's
that
insane.
happens. I'll tell you how that becomes a suicide. I can solve the mystery right there. Power and money. Mm-hmm. Whoever committed that crime is connected somehow. Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing, I am so glad you brought that up. So her boyfriend is the person who Nate and I, with our opinion, said did it. And his uncle was like a judge somewhere or was a lawyer. And it's crazy.
All it takes.
So when these things... Yeah, so when these cases come up, you know, we do try to approach it respectfully, but we do throw our opinion into it because, you know, once the police rule it a suicide, and this was years ago, they're still ruling it a suicide. So we just try to be their
Ellen's
voice.
Boyfriend that the thoughts projected here on Splintered Spirits, it's Ashley and Nate who think you did it.
I'll say I think you did it.
I don't know if you allegedly you may have done. I just want to be clear. I don't know you. You know, maybe she could have gone real hard. It's like, you know, that's the cops.
Listen,
I want to know where she got the suction cup knife. You know?
Listen, on my TikTok, we have the police call. Listen to it and tell me you don't think he did it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
This is a great question. Have you guys ever gotten a phone call, like a call from a listener or anything after you've done something like that and been like, yo, better watch yourself or that's not right? Or has that ever happened?
Yeah. So we covered a case out of New York about a guy who went missing, and he's never been found. He's still considered a missing persons case. And we covered the case, and there's not a lot of detail behind it, so it was very opinion based. And it was, oh, well, this person could have done it, or maybe this is what happened, and these are the steps that we think. And their cousin reached out to me, not their cousin, but one of the people we said could have done it. Their cousin reached out to me and was like, I'm sick of you YouTubers and you podcasters blaming my cousin. And I was like, did he? And then I got blocked. So.
Right. I mean, it's funny, man. You got to be, you do, look, I come out of the production space, right? And I used to work at Discovery and all the true crime stuff. And you really have to be careful, saying, like, hey, man, that person is a killer, especially if they're still alive. I mean, you do put yourself at risk, not just for your own.
There's one magical word. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And we always say
Netflix gets away with it because they don't care, right? Good luck suing one of the biggest companies in the world, right? That's that's why. I mean, it's just a fact, right? They just come at me, bro. That's their whole thing. But,
well, and that's what we say. We always say it's very opinion based, and and we always say you have the ability to do the research on your own and make your own, form your own decision or form your own opinion. But this is our opinion, and we are not experts. We are.
Okay. No, I was curious. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, how you covered that and handle situations like that. That is a wild story about that for sure. We're getting here towards as we start to make our big switch towards the end of the hour. What's a dream location? Where's Realm of Darkness and the Dark Travel Chronicles? Where do they want to go? What's a case?
We talk about this a lot, actually. We do. To me, I remember one of the first places I ever heard of was the Myrtles Plantation down south, and I think to me that might be bucket list for me, one I want to go to, just because it's the typical story of death, murder, all that stuff, and it's one of those ones that everybody knows, and to me that's the one I want to go to more than any place, just because I've heard so much about it.
So mine's a little more of a dream list. I would love to go to Pompeii just because of how quickly everything happened. I think Pompeii would be an incredible place to investigate. And then also the Colosseum. Because I also am a history nerd, so I would love to see those
Somebody
two.
just wants to go to Italy, I think. That's all.
Well, that too. I mean, I've heard they have great wine.
Well, to add to the
Italy's
Pompeii,
amazing, by the way.
They recently, there are people that believe that the people of Pompeii suffered.
Really?
That it wasn't instantaneous. There's new evidence coming out that they may have suffered, or at least some of them suffered, being
great.
baked. Isn't that wild?
That's a real
So
uplifting tone. It's like we're all like,
Pompeii.
At least they all died. And John drops a bomb of nope. They felt that.
They felt it.
Well, those types of locations are awesome, right? Yeah. I always talk about wanting to go not where the Titanic landed, but where it sank initially. Just on a boat, just run the equipment and see what pops off. And then, of course, either dead forest, whether it's Japan or Romania, take your pick.
You mean like the bamboo forest you're talking about, right, in Japan?
Yeah, where all the unalivings happen.
Yeah.
Where they unalive themselves. Yeah.
I've been there. It's wild.
Another great location, I think, if it was possible, would be able to investigate in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
How it's like, okay. I mean, who else talks about, guys? And it's a great place to go. Where most people die at once. Where can we all go that had the most death, the most?
But see, I need an expiration date. I wouldn't do because people have been bugging me for years.
Yeah, to go to 9/11, right?
To go to 9/11, and I refuse.
Yeah.
Not just because I was a firefighter for 20 years, just because in general, I don't like to do the new death thing. I stick more to the old death. He
likes his old ancient deaths. He likes his sword and sandals deaths. Muskets and such.
Muskets.
I have to agree because I think those kind of locations that we lived through that event, I think we have an emotional tie that would just either make us way too open or it could push us right over the edge. Like I think 9/11, I don't think I'd be able to do that one.
Yeah.
Not without tears just streaming.
No, it's
No.
dude, it's
Pl-
dark.
plus-
That's too
plus the
dark.
other
Even
thing,
for the
too,
Dark
is-
Chronicles, it's dark.
Doing locations like that, if you're going just for like 9/11, you're not just going to get things from 9/11. You are going to get things throughout history on that island. I mean,
Yeah.
when after 9/11 was done and when they were building the Freedom Tower, they found a boat, I believe an enslaved boat that took enslaved over that they threw in just for fill.
Wow.
Yeah. that's
So
what
I
it
mean,
is.
think about it. Like it's just yeah, it's interesting, but some areas are just I can't do it. Yeah,
How do
all
you
fun
see?
stuff.
How do you guys see what you do evolving? You know, like what do you want the next few years of Realm of Darkness? And is it two separate things? I'm sorry, because I was trying to figure this out. Is it Dark Travel Chronicles, Realm of Darkness? Is it one big thing? Like, do you separate the two things, the two parts, or what do you want the
So-
evolution of this to be?
The Dark Travel Chronicles is an extension of Realm of Darkness. It's, us actually going out into the field on these haunted
I see.
places and stuff like that, and like investigating and like putting it together in our way to show people, so that way you can see, like, I like to say we have a personality, and people see it on the podcast, but this is a different way for people to watch us, like, out and about
Yeah,
in
your
the field
field
and not
reporters,
just sitting
too.
in front of our computers. Yeah.
No, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm very happy
So-
in front of
so
my
just-
computer. But go ahead.
Which is great because you'd be surprised how many people just sit behind a computer, and actually don't go out into the field.
Here.
No, Gary, you raised your hand. Even you went out into the field.
I've gone a couple
You've been
times,
into
but
the
I'm not
field,
going.
right?
I'm not going to
Like-
the
But you'd be just surprised how many
Ohio
people have
Reformatory.
podcasts.
I'm not going to spend
Yeah,
the
but-
night
Hey.
in Shawshank.
No, I'll take you. You come to Ohio, we will go. We will go to Ohio State.
That's like an hour. from you,
I'll
right?
go, but I mean, I'm not staying overnight.
Oh, I'm gonna introduce you to Mr. Soul.
Okay. Yeah, we should get scratched. Get those bra
No, he
scratches.
just hates women. Yeah,
my
make sure
God.
you wear a bra though, or
I
he's
will,
not gonna
right.
pay attention to you.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if like Monique too soon.
I was just thinking that.
Right?
I was just
I
thinking
don't
that.
know.
I was just thinking that.
Right?
We
She's wild.
we
have
have
an interview with her coming
another episode coming up with a
With
she's
her.
a drag queen.
Yeah, they know. They,
Yeah, we
they
know
they
Monique.
Oh, you know Monique. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So imagine, like, I wonder what would happen. See now
Yeah.
the wheels are starting to.
Yeah, she's wild.
Now you know what? I would be interested because I know the chapel. We had an individual who was kind of along the same line, and we sent them to the chapel, and they were attacked.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah.
That's half the fun with the paranormal, though. Like, just spitballing ideas like that and like going out and trying these things.
I thought you meant getting attacked.
That's what I thought he was getting at too. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what? I mean, listen,
I was
I'm
like,
angry when
ooh.
I
We're
get
sitting, here, we're
attacked.
sitting here talking about throwing somebody else in as bait.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Just do it. Try it. See what happens.
Oh, I
You
wonder what
never
would
know.
happen if you throw that person in as bait. It's terrible. We're awful.
Shit, you know what? Maybe I'll cross stress and I'll go.
Yeah.
Right.
Go
Be like,
with
right. Well,
what
let's be the white. Let's be like white chicks. But
Yeah,
paranormal.
be like-
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mr.
And I only live an hour from there.
Oh my god, that'd be funny, man. That would work.
Oh, Mr. Salts.
Hello. That would be funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys, what do you want people to feel or think differently about after watching Realm of Darkness? What do you hope they get out of it?
Ooh, I think on the paranormal side, I want them to get more of the reality of it. I want them to realize that what they see on TV is not always true, and not everything is a demon, and not everything is going to possess you. And I want them to learn to do investigations on their own. Every time you hear a knock, don't assume that it's a ghost. Is it the ice maker? Is it the heater turning on? Like, I want people to kind of get the fear out of it, because I don't really think paranormal is something to fear. So it's hard to explain, but I want them to see that, I don't know if I can say his name, but the demon screamer is not how the true paranormal field works.
Listen, let me just touch on that real quick because I talk about this all the time on my podcast. When people bring up, people bring up Zach Baggins, right? That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he gets labeled as fake because he's always screaming about demons. And this is what I say. I disagree. I don't think what he's experiencing is fake. I just don't think they're always demons. I think he is experiencing something and he's communicating with something. Labeling it a demon? Well, I need a lot of data for that first before
but you got to
throw the
remember,
keyword
guys,
out
you
there.
got to remember about the nature of the business, right?
Network
Yeah.
notes the works. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Demons sell.
It
Demons
sells,
sell.
and he is running a TV show.
fear
and it's like-
cells.
fear
Yes.
sells, and demon is clear. Like you understand that this is
Yeah.
a bad thing, and it's like I don't knock the guy for, but I agree with you, John. I think, you don't get to where he is by being. Milli Vanilli got found out pretty quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be that. It's not. But
Well,
you do have
Plus,
to do
we've
things when you-
also had gentlemen on this podcast that have worked with him.
Yes.
I mean, credible people that would
Yeah.
never sully themselves with someone that was fake.
Yeah.
So,
it's just, there's a nature to when you get a TV show that you have to do what you have to do, and that's just the way it is. And I don't knock anybody for it, right? I mean, you can't be liberal with.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him for it. I am not mad at him for it, but
Right.
I think like the average person, if you,
Sure.
I just don't want people thinking that every knock or every, footstep is a demon, because I think that just
agree
puts
with
a
you
lot of
100%.
I
Yeah.
think that puts a lot of fear into it, and that makes people close their minds out, and they could be missing out on some really amazing things being closed-minded. So it's like, and like I said, I am mad at Zach for it, because I mean, if we all had the opportunity, we probably would do it too. But I just want people to see like the real side of it, that not everything is going to drag you to hell.
I'll tell
That,
you
and I'd
straight
like
up.
to add that me and Nate here, we're not going blind because of the demons. All right. I'd just like to add that.
But actually,
A
I'm
lot
gonna
of
tell you
That's
straight
people
up.
genetics.
realize,
If
too.
someone starts throwing money at Splintered Spirits to give us a TV show, I swear to Christ, everything's a demon. I'm going
Hey,
demon.
and you know what?
It's like-
I'll buy the first shirt that says, "Was it a demon?"
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It'll be called Splinter Demons.
One thing,
I'll be straight
Hey,
out
I'll
with it.
support it.
You know what
I'll
I mean?
support it.
I'll sell out faster than anybody ever thought I would. I'm not even embarrassed by it. It's like, yep, ass away. I sold it. That's straight up selling it. That's funny, man. Guys, because I know I think you guys got to split soon as well.
We gotta switch.
What's the one episode of Realm of Darkness for the crossover folks here that have just discovering you that they should absolutely check out to really get a good handle? What's the one?
Ellen Greenberg. That's mine.
That's the one.
Ellen Greenberg.
Stabbed yourself, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because we have the police, we have the 911 call, we have pictures, diagrams, we go really into it. I reached out to the family. They were under a gag order, so they wanted to come on, but they couldn't because they were under a gag order. But once that's lifted, they're going to come on. So, Nate, that was a surprise for you that he just found out with you guys.
Oh, we got an exclusive.
You did.
my personal favorite episode was one where Ashley was gone and our other co-host at the time was not with us, and I was going solo. Wade Kirby, he's with Nesper. He works with Ed and Lorraine Warren, and like some of the stories he told me about like demonic cases and Annabelle doll and stuff like that. Hearing him, like he was a wealth of knowledge on all of that stuff, and I thought it was such an interesting conversation to have with somebody. And like just
Well,
the
and the-
things that were going on with my computer was going haywire, and then once I brought it up to him, he said, "This could be because they don't want you to hear what I'm telling you," and stuff like that.
Well,
the wildest conversation
And the
I've ever
best the best part about that is Wade actually gave us the opportunity to work with Annabelle, which was, and a couple other items from the museum, which was insane. So yeah, that's a good one too, Nate.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, check that out at Realm of Darkness. You can see them on. You guys are on Facebook. You're on YouTube. YouTube, it's at Realm of Darkness 04, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? I'm going to put that up there real quick for everybody. That's where we are going to be in about 5 to 10 minutes. as John and I hop over to Realm of Darkness with Ashley and Nate. Guys, that was so fun. That was great.
Yeah, guys,
I had a
thank
good
both
time.
of you for coming on.
I thank you for coming on.
I can't wait to switch seats now.
I know. I've never been on another podcast. So it's really going to be fun for us, guys. We're going to say our goodbyes here. Thank you so much, and we will see you in just a few minutes over on Realm of Darkness, and hopefully we'll get some people to come over there and follow us to keep the conversation going. I love it.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right,
Thank
folks.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you
Super
soon.
fun.
Thank you.
See you in a few.
See
Just
ya.
keep that browser window open until it says upload complete, all right? And then,
Okay.
Gotcha.
all right, I'll see you guys in a few.
Cool.
See ya.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye. Moving Nate. Moving Ashley.
That was fun. They're
Yeah.
very, very awesome. I think this
Yeah, it was fun. A good spirit.
interview
Yeah,
coming
right?
up is going to be great.
It's really great. I'm excited to go over there. So we got a few minutes.
Yeah,
We'll
me
head
too.
over there in like 5.
Yep.
And then, guys, that was Ashley and Nate from Realm of Darkness. We're about to go over on their podcast, on
Yeah.
their channel. Come on over, give them a follow. If you're here at Splintered Spirits or you're watching on Santa Paranormal on our Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe wherever podcasts are available to Splintered Spirits. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, everywhere. We've got some really great ones coming out. The Lauren Hellickson episode just dropped. We've got Monique Too Soon, who we talked about a little here today. That's coming out next. We've got Chip Coffee coming up. We've got the Estes Experiment coming up. Our group Estes project. And we've got a couple skeptics. We've got a lot of episodes in the can, dude. Oh, I just did an interview with Patty Negri. The incomparable and super, that woman has just, if you don't know who Patty Negri is and you're in the paranormal, then you just don't know. You're just not in the paranormal. That's just really what the bottom line is. That was super fun too. That's gonna be a good one. She was great with me. Gave me a crash course on divination. And yeah, man, we've got some more good guests for the lives in the works, and we'll tell you more as the weeks go by because we know you're a fan.
It's really funny.
What's up?
When you were saying the first episode, we just dropped the Lauren Hellison episode. When I went and did the little promo, to put it out there, dude, there was literally 15 takes of that because I could not say her last name for the life of me. And then I finally got so frustrated. If you go and you watch the little promo, it's like, yeah, we have Lauren. She's awesome, dude. I didn't even say her
You
last
just dropped
name.
your last name.
I was like, it's it.
Right.
I tried.
I don't know what it is about Lauren, but just her presence made us dumber. In like every possibility, if you can see it, it was like her question. She was asking this basic question. I was like, oh, and it was so fun. I mean, she's great, but yeah, it's like you can't even say her name all of a sudden. You're tripping over your own tongue. You talk for 6 hours live a night, and you can't say her last name for 2 minutes.
Yep. That happens all the time.
Oh, man, it's great. It's great.
Tripping up on words
It's
all the
funny.
time. Well, I guess we're switching over, huh?
We're gonna switch
One
over.
more time, real quick, for the good people, Gary. Where are we going?
We
Where
are
we gonna
going.
be?
We are going to. I'm going to put it up again. Realm of Darkness. At Realm of Darkness 04 on YouTube is probably the best place to watch us and to give them a follow. John. First of all, dude, I've never been interviewed. Never.
You never been interviewed?
No.
Okay.
Probably most of their questions I got to imagine are going to be for you. I mean, you're the one who's out there with these friggin' ghosts, dude. You know what I mean? You have more to say on it, but I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes, but it'll be super fun. But yeah, man, that's it for Splintered Spirits for today, folks.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome episode. Awesome
I appreciate-
episode.
Yeah, nice, high and tight, fast and furious, but we are keeping the conversation going.
Yes, we are.
And yes, Tats and Kitty. Yes, the name of the podcast is Realm of Darkness.
Realm of Darkness 04 on YouTube.
I just put it up, but it's Realm of Darkness, but it's at Realm of Darkness 04, and you can see it right there on YouTube.
I'm gonna put it in all the
Put
all
it
the
in put it in all your places.
I'll put it all places.
Slap it up, rub it down. You guys, it'll be fun. We're gonna keep it going. Those guys are great. They're super fun. Who else? I'm just rolling up the chat here before we say goodbye.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna handle that so everyone knows where to go.
And just
you
see
take
if
us
anybody had
home.
any questions. What's a demon screamer? I don't know. Someone was talking about a demon screamer. I don't know what that is.
Demons. I think they're talking about Baggins. How he's always screaming about
oh,
demons.
I see. All right. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Justify that. Instagram, thank you for being there. If anybody from Facebook, we thank you for being here for our live. And please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Comments. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. That really helps us out, man. Even if you're not a paid subscriber, that kind of stuff really helps us out. John, I'm going to hop us off here.
Okay, perfect.
Goodbye.
Everybody, thank you. I'm getting
Thank
that
you.
link in the chords and everything now. So,
Realm of Darkness. See you over there in just a few minutes, folks.
bye.
Bye.